The Daily Mail. Every officer is up to speed on diversity training. Not so much ship handling. Scathing official report finds U.S. Navy is too woke for war because of risk-averse, politically correct, control freak top brass. Our Navy, our military, isn't training in war, but training in wokeness. Yay. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm the Anti-Woke Warrior. As you probably have noticed, I'm not releasing as many videos lately, and that is because my day job has been very busy in July. Furthermore, the last 3 days I've had power outages every single day. All right. One of them even actually interfered with my day job. It happened 5 minutes before I was going to conduct class, so I had to contact my supervisor and be like, hey, you need to take over because I have no way of running a computer right now. Actually, I did because I have battery backup, but my modem was disconnected too because that comes through the same company, I guess. Somehow they're related. It's super frustrating. I ended up going to a coffee house and kind of finishing out the class that way, but my supervisor was there for most of the class. So hopefully in August I'll be able to pick back up to a more regular schedule. But we got to get into this article because this is just frightening. And this article, by the way, from the Daily Mail, I didn't download it. I copied it off of the internet. So it's going to be a little bit different in that it's not going to be internet. You're not actually looking at the internet version of this. So you're not going to see the videos playing. I've done this before because the Daily Mail, it recognizes that I'm using an ad blocker and won't let me view the site. So I just turn off my ad blocker, but then the Daily Mail is like crazy with ads, so it really annoys me. Now what we have here is members of Congress commissioned the report on issues in the surface Navy. It came in response to fire on ship in San Diego and 2 ship collisions in the Pacific. Oh, that sounds, yeah, all right, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Retired Marine General and Navy Admiral spoke with current and former officers. They identified a number of disturbing trends in Navy leadership and training. Many officers said that diversity training took precedence over warfighting. They claimed combat readiness had become a box-checking exercise. Yay, the whole world has gone insane. This is just what we see with these companies that are profits-driven. How they'll like cut back on anything they can, safety being one of the things, and they're just, oh, we checked a box. Yeah, we did the safety check, and all they did was check a box. This is, oh yeah, we understand how to operate the ship. All we did was check a box. These people. Diversity training is a rot that is throughout our entire country. It's going to destroy everything. When I say avoid hedonism and avoid wokeness, those are just really important things that we need to do to have a strong country, to have a strong civilization, society, whatever you want to call it. But that's not happening. A scathing new report commissioned by members of Congress has claimed that the Navy surface warfare forces have systemic training and leadership issues, including a focus on diversity that overshadows basic readiness skills. The report, prepared by Marine Lieutenant General Robert Schmidl and Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, both retired, came in response to recent naval disasters, including the burning of the USS Bonham Richard in San Diego, 2 collisions involving Navy ships in the Pacific, and the surrender of 2 small craft in Iran. So our Navy, the most powerful Navy in the world by far, our military, the most powerful military in the world by far, is completely inept. Yippee! Yay! I'm so glad that we're allowed to own guns in this country. And I used to be on the fence about that whole thing. So here's the footage of the U.S. sailors being captured by the Iranians. The article only mentions that it doesn't cover this. This happened in 2016, and it's been blamed on a mechanical error of some sort, technical error that allowed the ship to drift into Iranian waters. Last time I checked, we weren't at war with Iran. Are we at war with Iran? Am I missing something here? So these officers were detained and held. But the fact of the matter is even if we aren't at war with Iran, so they shouldn't be, they should not be imprisoning our officers. But at the same time, our soldiers should be able to handle Iran. An Iranian ship comes up to a U.S. ship, it should be like, oh, you want to board our vessel? Boom, you're dead. That's how simple it should be. We should. I don't care. I don't care if it's going to cause war with Iran. How far do you think that war is going to go? I mean, do you think that Iran's going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to really mess you up, United States. You're thousands of miles across the ocean from us, and we basically have no navy and no air force. Yeah, that wouldn't go over very well. The U.S. would just wipe Iran off the face of the earth. But nope, apparently we're too woke to even to stand up for ourselves in a conflict like this. Yay, good job, U.S. military. Can't wait for, the Chinese to come over and make this Eastern China. It's going to be great. The authors conducted hour-long interviews with 77 current and retired Navy officers, offering them anonymity to identify issues they wouldn't feel comfortable raising in the chain of command. The report found that a staggering 94% of the subjects believed the recent naval disasters were part of a broader problem in Navy culture or leadership. I guarantee you every unit in the Navy is up to speed on their diversity training. I'm sorry that I can't say the same of their ship handling training, said one recently retired senior enlisted leader. Look, this was a video about the fire crews battle flames on the USS Bonham Richard in San Diego. So there was a fire on the ship and they didn't know how to handle it. And this ship was, we'll see if it tells in the article. If not, then I'll come back to this at the end and tell you what happened with this ship. Okay, so report prepared by Lieutenant General Robert Schmidl, that's this guy, and then the Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, that's this guy. Now, here's the fire scene on board the Bonham Richard on July 12, 2020 in San Diego. $750 million ship has been scrapped due to fire damage. $750 million. I have a feeling that I would manage that and be more productive with that and benefit humanity better than the Navy did with this fiasco here. And it's all because they have to understand sensitivity and diversity. Oh my goodness, you hurt my feelings because you said something that was considered prejudiced against me. Oh, I can't handle it. I'm gonna go cry now. You're a bad person. And the Navy has to be up on all that. I don't really care what you say. Actions speak louder than words. I've been insulted so many times based on my inherent characteristics that it's like, okay, water off a duck's back at this point. These people, get over yourself. You're not special just because you're woke. You're not special because you're a woman. You're not special because you're considered a racial minority in the United States. Or you're not special because you're part of the LGBTQ *ampersand hashtag group. The report focused on issues within the Navy's surface warfare forces as opposed to submarine and aviation, and suggested that issues in the surface fleet could be unique due to better funding and training for submarine and aviation units. One of the key issues raised by the officers interviewed for the report was a concern that Navy leaders spend more time focusing on diversity training than on developing war-fighting capacity and key operational skills. Sometimes I think we care more about whether we have enough diversity officers than if we'll survive a fight with the Chinese Navy, lamented one lieutenant currently on active duty. It's criminal. They think my only value is as a black woman, but you cut our ship open with a missile and we'll all bleed the same color, she added. One recent destroyer captain said, where someone puts their time shows what their priorities are, and we've got so many messages about XYZ Appreciation Month or sexual assault prevention or you name it, we don't even have close to that same level of emphasis on actual warfighting. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind maybe the sexual assault prevention, but the thing is that's already illegal. If you are sexually assaulted and you have proof, which most likely you will, hey, guess what? The person who sexually assaulted you gets to go to prison. Ideally, you can prove that. I know it can be hard because you're dealing with something that usually happens in private, but sexual assault should stop. It should not be even a thing that human beings understand. It should be beyond our comprehension. Be like, what you did? What now? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't comprehend that. But yeah, here we are as these freaking messed up hairless apes going on. Oh yeah, let's just like hurt people with our reproductive organs, or hurt their reproductive organs with our hands, or whatever. It's just stupid things that people do. While programs to encourage diversity, human sex trafficking prevention, suicide prevention, sexual assault prevention, and others are appropriate, they come with a cost. The report's authors wrote, "We all already know that human sex trafficking is wrong, that keeping people from committing suicide is a good idea, that sexual assault is wrong. Encouraging diversity is also wrong. But we've been told our whole lives that it's not wrong. So we already know that this is just, oh, okay, we've heard this a million times in my life, we got to be diverse. And we inherently know that sex trafficking is wrong. And that keeping people from killing themselves is a good idea. And we don't need to put any money into this. We need to put $0 into these things. Maybe we need to do like education on how sex trafficking, how these people operate. Okay, you need to have a therapist on the ship to keep people from committing suicide. And then there's already laws against the other one. So I don't know. I mean, it's people wasting time and energy on things that have already been handled. The non-combat curricula consume Navy resources, clog inboxes, create administrative quagmires, and monopolize precious training time. By weighing down sailors with non-combat related training and administrative burdens, both Congress and Navy leaders risk sending them into battle less prepared and less focused than their opponents, the report added. Do you believe these incidents are part of a broader problem in the Navy? Really? So yes is 94%. No and not sure. So not sure is a 3% and no is a 3%. Yeah, these are the people at the top. These I don't know and no. The report found that the staggering 94% of the subjects believe the recent naval disasters were part of a broader problem in the Navy culture or leadership. Yeah. Do you believe there is a direct connection between the incidents? Yep. So 55% believe yes, 16% believe no, and then not sure is 29%. The majority of officers interviewed believed there was a direct connection between the recent disasters in the Navy surface warfare units. Some of the respondents expressed concerns that when combat lethality and warfighting are emphasized, they are treated in a box-checking manner that can seem indistinguishable from non-combat related exercises. The Navy treats warfighting readiness as a compliance issue, said one career commander. You might even use the term compliance-centered warfare as opposed to adversary-centered warfare or warfighting-centered warfare. Yeah, okay. Just call it warfare. That's really what it is. We're going to do war games. We're going to train for war. The junior surface warfare officer still on active duty confessed, I don't think that the surface community see themselves as people who are engaged in a fight. Commander Brian McGrath, a retired surface warfare officer who agreed to be interviewed on the record, notably dissented on the question of whether excess requirements were distracting sailors from their primary mission, argued that the main issue was too few surface ships. Really? How come you have so many of them running into each other? The ships are very busy, he said. I think there are too few of them for what is being asked, he argued. The operational requirements squeeze out maintenance. They squeeze out some training. When you're on the ship, McGrath said, the sexual assault and victim stuff, all of that stuff, just seems like a burden. It just seems like it's never ending. But the further I get from it, the more I understand why it's important and why there does have to be very clear signals sent to deck plate sailors that the issues that are important to them are important to leadership. Get women out of the military. Problem solved. It's, I'm sorry. Too bad, ladies. You don't get to be in the military. Boo-hoo. Go back into the kitchen where you belong. Report condemns Navy's paralyzing zero defect mentality. Okay. Another issue identified in the report is the overly timid practice of treating certain errors with career termination and offering no opportunity for recovery. Former Secretary of the Navy John Lemon made the startling claim that of the 4 key admirals who led the Navy to victory in World War II, none would make their rank of captain in today's fleet. The U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS John S. McCain is seen after a collision in Singapore waters, August 21st, 2017. Yep, there's a big dent in the side of it here at the waterline, if you're not watching. And so, while they were punished for mistakes, they were kept in a career path. That's not the case today. It's just not done because it's too dangerous for anybody that tries to help someone who has made a mistake, he added. Officers interviewed for the report echoed Lehman's concerns that the practice of firing commanders for the smallest mistakes was a drag on retention, morale, and lethality. That's an interesting practice that they've developed in the Navy. I wonder why they developed that, other than, it ends the careers, they said, of the higher ups. But it seems to me that doesn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would you end the careers of the higher ups for pushing these officers forward as long as they prove that they could do the job? Commanders can no longer take risks in a way that they can have small failures. Learn and move forward, said one sailor. Failures are terminal to people's careers. These are guys that are totally zero risk. One former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense who served as a surface warfare officer said of the surface warfare community, because they're like, hey, I'm going to be the commanding officer for 15 months. Why try to get to the battle? Why try to do really important boardings in the Middle East? I'm just going to make sure I'm talking to the admiral over the video teleconference and make sure that he's for it. And I just found that to be really sad. Yeah, so okay, I see what's going on here. They're in combat, so you could totally mess up a combat situation pretty easily. And since they're going to only be in command for 15 months, they'll lose their job if they make a mistake, so they don't even try to do anything. The report argues that the independence of command has been eroded and commanding officers fear risk due to its adverse impact upon their careers. The general unwillingness to rehabilitate one-off mistakes, the disinclination to weigh errors against the totality of the naval career, and the practice of discipline by paperwork were broadly understood to be a drain on Navy's retention efforts, the report stated. Goldman Sachs, Amazon, Apple, Google, whatever, all of these institutions of high performance and high excellence do circus flips trying to figure out how to cultivate and retain talent, said one former naval officer who is now a senior leader at a major hedge fund's philanthropic arm. The Navy all but chases it out the door. In my experience, companies will chase out those people who make mistakes, even if they're like super talented. It's happened to me multiple times. I've been fired from jobs, even though I'm like usually one of the top performers in whatever job I get because I actually care about the work that I do. But there's other errors that come up because I don't socialize well. And so then the people will be like, oh, look, I didn't like that he talked to me this way, or he said this and I found that offensive or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, I'm fired because of it. It's like, really? You didn't come to me and talk to me and say, hey, this is how we expect you to behave with your coworkers. I mean, stuff that's like really that wasn't even caused by me. Just my reaction of walking away when somebody mistreats me verbally is considered a mistake on my part, and I get fired for that stuff. People accusing me of theft, and then me showing them that I don't have their property that they say I stole. They said, I saw you take it and put it in your pocket, and I empty my pockets. I get in trouble for that stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm the one who gets fired for that stuff, not the people who accuse me of theft, wrongfully accuse me of theft. It's just beyond. And these are not necessarily Fortune 500 companies like Goldman Sachs, etc. But some of them are. I've worked for some big companies. I've worked for a lot of small companies. So. Anyway, from here, the article goes on to point out another couple of ways that the Navy is incompetent. I will leave links in the comment section to the original article. So if you wanted to read the entire thing, you can do it. But that's pretty much all I got for this time. We got to keep wokeness out of everything. It's just destroying this country. We can see this happening now when we see that people are talking about peaceful divorce or talking about splitting up the country. It's because we can't agree on things, because there's a bunch of people out there who really sincerely believe that saying something like, oh, I'm a white guy, oh, you're automatically racist. I can't even claim that I'm white without being accused of being racist. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and I will see you all in the next video.